mind to throw a lightning bolt at you.
Is the music from this city used anywhere else? Because I could swear it seems like I've heard it before, but this is a great passive track.
Defend the temple.
Thank Trinimac you're here. Someone has to save my fellow priests inside the temple.
Alright. So I need to talk to this guy, it looks like.
Please, I need your help. The priests inside the temple are at the mercy of these fanatics. Please, I think they want to kill my brothers and sisters in Trinimac.
Really? You think? Do you know what happened in there?
Malakath fanatics. They burst into the temple and began rounding up my fellow priests. They spat at us and shouted that we were betraying our race. They said that Chief Bazrag sent them to punish us for opposing the true god of the orcs.
Chief Bazrag sent them.
They invoke the chief's name, saying he seeks revenge against the king and any who follow the false god. I've known Chief Bazrag to be a hard man, but never a cruel man, never a murderer. What has the king done to anger him so?
There was a bit of a confrontation in the throne room.
I see. I respect the king and all that he stands for, but his temper, it has gotten us into trouble more times than I care to remember. If it's vengeance Bazrag seeks, then the king will be responsible for the deaths of the temple priests.
How did you escape?
They made such a commotion when they barged in. I spotted them from the upper balcony and slipped out the back door. I was about to go find help when more of those ruffians surrounded me. I thought I was finished, and then you showed up.
Oh, I guess I actually have to tell him that I will take care of the priests.
Malakath
I'll do what I can to save the priests.
My fellow priests were still alive when I slipped out of the temple. But the tension in the air, I'm afraid violence is inevitable. They set up patrols inside the temple, watching for Kurag and his soldiers. If one of them spots you in there, they're holding the priests captive in the rectory. If one of the torchbearers spots you and reaches the rectory, you won't be able to save them. Avoid the torchbearers at all costs.
Okay.
Or at least strike them down before they can sound a warning. Take this key. It will unlock the temple's rear entrance. Once inside, you'll need to find the key to the rectory, where they're holding my fellow priests.
Copy that.
The fanatic who gives the orders, their commander, he probably has the key to the rectory.
Okay.
May the luck of Trinimac be with you.
So I gotta pay attention to torchbearers.
Try to send more help your way.
God, that song. I would like to have that just like playing in the house at all times. I really like this track.
Lock the priests in the rectory. As soon as Kurag arrives, we kill them all.
Get the key to the rectory. Avoid torchbearers to keep priests alive. I don't know how I'm gonna avoid torchbearers. They're like literally everywhere. I think we just have to kill them, yes?
Kurag's soldiers are here. I have to warn the others.
I don't see a way to avoid them. I'm not a stealth character. I think we just have to kill them. Malakath champion. Is that the only one?
Give us strength.
Good thing is they appear to be like not. They might be one shot. Like they definitely appear to be less hit points than these guys, so I think they've made them like easy to kill so that it's not an impossible task if they see you and start to run.
Intruders! Now we can kill the priests!
Yeah, they're really easy to kill. Okay. Get the key to the rectory, which is above somewhere.
May your bones serve better.
Aha!
How did you get in here? No matter.
Not important. What's important is that I'm here. We're gonna kick your ass. Why would I care about the population? I'm here to play as a single player game. I don't care about other players. I play all the games I play as single player RPGs. So, yeah, I'm not interested in other people. You're not going to get the answer you seek here because I don't pay attention to it. I don't care. Hang on, there's something. Temple Rectory Keybox search. Got it. Okay, got the key to the rectory. Yeah, that's a good way to classify it. Yeah, it's a massively multiplayer, single-player online role-playing game. Okay, so that got me that. Now I need to go over here. I'm assuming that door, maybe? Yes. Do they have a torchbearer? Yes, but I can get past it. Oh, I totally forgot to check the stables. Well, I haven't really gone to town yet this morning. That's not true. I was in town talking about something earlier, but I totally forgot to go to the stable.
Chief Bosrog said to leave one of you alive to tell Kurog what happened here. The rest of you, time to die.
Please, there's no need for this insanity. Just leave us alone. Kurog's people have arrived. Kill them all!
Alright. Oh, they're up top.
Thank you for helping us. I thought they were going to kill us. I don't know how to thank you. These fanatics, they beat us, threatened us. They told us they were going to kill us as soon as the king or his soldiers showed
What's
up.
up, Derbrum? I totally missed that you
got
popped in.
without alerting them. You saved us. The others, High Priestess Solgra and our brothers and sisters in Trinimac. The fanatics gathered us up and forced us in here. But Solgra, she isn't one to put up with such nonsense. She put a blade into one of them and ran into the back to help the others.
Alright, where can I find them?
I have the key. I'll open the door for you. Solgra and the others should be somewhere through this door. Are you afraid?
Hang on, where did he just run off to? Okay. Is that the only door he's going to open? Because I really want to check the
Find a way
bookshelves.
to open the main temple doors and let the soldiers in.
Okay.
Good luck.
can go through there when we're done here. I just want to double check all these. Alright. I'm always going to marvel at the obsession that occasionally you will find people have over population.
This swift.
Especially when it relates to a 10-year-old MMO. Like, you would think that everyone understands now that all of the long-term MMOs, whether it's Elder Scrolls Online, Star Wars: The Old Republic, World of Warcraft, EverQuest 2, Lord of the Rings Online, Guild Wars 2, every single one of these games that has been out for a decade or more has changed the way these games play over the past decade, so that they are literally single-player RPGs that have an optional backdrop of group-based gameplay that you can do if you want to.
Get her! Don't
But
let her
it's
escape!
never the priority for the content, and it's definitely never the priority for the updates that the developers make for the games. They give you companions. Everything is designed to be a single-player experience with optional online stuff that you can do with friends or randos if you prefer. But population hasn't mattered in these games for a decade plus. In terms of the story content of the game. Like Dripperum says, if you only care about end game, then yes, population can be important. But that's like 1% of the population. The 99% of the other people who play the games are like me, single players who just want to hop in and hop out with no commitment, no schedules, none of that stuff. We just want to be able to hop on and do stuff. So the population doesn't matter for the average consumer. Now, if you care about end game, yeah, it does matter. But that's the 1% of the people playing. And yeah, like I said, like I replied to that person a few minutes ago, like I have no response to that. Like, I don't pay attention to the population of these games because I don't play them for the multiplayer aspect. So I am not the right streamer or content creator to ask, how is the population of this game? I'm going to tag this actually. Population of this game, question mark. Because any of the older MMOs are just gonna be like this. Oh, endgame is definitely 1%, Luke. Please post in chat, Luke. Please post your game credentials. I would love to know what games you have worked on, where you can actually provide me with your factual evidence. I actually have, not going to get into it because then we'll get into the whole pirate software, but he worked at Blizzard. We're not going to get into my background today because that's public information. Anybody can Google that. But please let us know your background, Luke, to counter my factual evidence that in-game player base is less than 1% of any given game. I will wait if you would like to put a link in my Discord. I don't care if you've been playing ESO for 10 years, unless you are a game developer who has data to show that the player base of the MMORPG industry is greater than 1%. When you have that information and can put that into my Discord chat, your opinion will be valid. But until then, you are just a player and you're quoting your opinion, but you're not showing us facts. My data is publicly available. Again, I've already talked about that in other places. We're not going to get into that this morning. If you're new here, the short version is I have 10 plus years in the industry, launched an MMO, launched other games, formed 2 game studios. Now I stream for a living. Feel free to go Google me. That's my ego. Oh, it doesn't matter that I'm new to ESO. I've actually met Matt on multiple occasions at events and had many conversations about Elder Scrolls Online and data points on this game and many other MMOs across the industry. So again, walk yourself back, get your links, show us your facts, drop them in Discord. When you do, I will be happy to include your data into the conversation. Until then, you're just a player. The endgame population, getting back to the conversation, for any of the given MMORPGs out there these days, especially if you're talking the older games like ESO, EverQuest 2, all that, etc., it could still be healthy. Like EverQuest 2 has, as an example, like 30,000 people who regularly pay subscriptions to play the end game. That's very small, but it's enough to keep a team regularly pumping out new expansions every year. Even EverQuest 1 still produces expansions every single year for people who want to play the end game content, and that's around 50,000 people. So a game doesn't need a huge amount of players focusing on end game or the newest content, right? End game in this case meaning the newest, latest content, not necessarily just the raids. But with old games in particular, it's never more than about 1% of the population, because the vast majority of people are just playing it casually in their spare time. Anyway. EverQuest 2 has not only one of the best crafting systems, but one of the best housing systems and guild systems. Like, the whole guild structure in EverQuest 2 is fucking amazing. With the levels, and everybody contributes, and you unlock access to all the things. But I love the housing system. The guild housing system in particular in EverQuest 2 is still a gold standard in my mind, because you can actually have guild halls. Lord of the Rings Online does it okay. Star Wars: The Republic is very good also for the guilds, because you can get the guild ships, the guild flagships, and then you unlock all of the additional, like when you first get your capital ship, you only have access to like one or two of the, I forget what they're called, like expansions of the ship, and then as you go through and do guild content in Star Wars: The Republic, you get access to unlock the additional, so you can unlock like the hangar bay and the command deck and all these other things, which then everybody can contribute to and work on. So that's another good example of like end game content for a lot of people. It doesn't necessarily have to do with raids. Luke says you throwing out 1% is cute, but it tells me you don't raid, so you think anyone who does is some rare Pokemon. Touch a trial group once and you'll see the population's a hell of a lot bigger than the number you pulled at a thin year. Luke, like I said, I can't help your ignorance. If you knew who I was, the fact that you just said I don't raid shows that you have no clue at all. You need to do your due diligence on me as a guild leader, as a game studio founder, as a player, etc. You need to get your facts straight. Otherwise, you literally sound like the biggest idiot that has ever been on my channel. And you're raging in my chat right now because you don't like getting a dick slapped in your face. So, calm your tits. Go back to school, educate yourself a little bit, and then you can come back and we'll be on the same level. But until then, New World does have the best crafting, period. Correct. No, I'm not this year. I didn't. This is the first year I haven't raided in ever. 2025 was the first year I haven't done any raiding since I started gaming in MMOs in like the 90s. New World's crafting is great. Going fishing on Dathomir was one of my favorite MMO experiences, says Trucker. Nice. People just regurgitate what other people say, says King of the Noobs. It's very true. TikTok chat is full of that this morning. Let me regurgitate what other people have said. I play endgame. I play the endgame. I know what I'm talking about. Alright. Go around the corner here. Looks like we go down through here. Yeah. Bookshelves. Massacre the Bold.
Thank you for that. I thought I could handle them. The odds got a little overwhelming.
New World, well, technically you still could, because the servers are still up, and they will definitely still be up for probably another 6 months or so. And I highly recommend it, even though the game is technically going into maintenance mode. I think New World is... I mean, there's 300 hours-ish, 200 to 300 hours of single-player content in New World, and it's very good. Very good voiceovers. So there's still plenty of time to go if you are looking for a good single-player experience. But you're not going to find any sort of, like, end-game content in that game now, because the population left as soon as they made the announcement that it was going into maintenance mode. But if you get a chance, you should try it. What's up, Johnny? Here's Johnny. Yeah, it's free content for me, Ali, every time. That's why I say the easiest thing in the world. I have some stuff that's going viral, and we've referred to it a couple days. We've got a couple of viral posts on TikTok and Instagram right now. And my go-to line right now, which triggers, I get like 6 or 7 replies from every single one of these guys. But all you got to do is drop the line, "There is nothing easier to provoke than an insecure male into rage commenting, clicking, and viewing my content." And as soon as you drop that in chat to someone, they just immediately, and they just type like 7 messages in a row about how I'm coping, I'm an idiot, I'm this, that, or the other. And I'm like, bitch, I just got you for 7 more comments and more engagement and algorithm juice, and you pushed my content higher in the feed, and you made me more money. You're just like, it's like take a stick and stir it in the anthill and just watch him go ape shit. It's hilarious. Gustav says people were claiming Epic Games would buy the game, but I did. I don't think anybody's gonna buy New World. It's gonna be too expensive to buy it off of Amazon.
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine once I catch my breath. Just got the wind knocked out of me a little, that's all.
Do you know what this was all about?
Not exactly. They claimed to be devoted followers of Malakath, and said they were working for Chief Bazrag. They caught us by surprise, threatened us. Did you run into Ugus? How are he and the others faring?
They are safe.
Well, that puts my mind at ease. I hated leaving them, but the others back here needed help too. But I'm still not completely certain what the attackers hope to accomplish. Why take us hostage? Why not simply kill us and be done with it?
All good questions. I think they wanted to embarrass the king.
Spill the blood of innocents and blame the king for their deaths, for not being able to protect his people. What a fiendish scheme. But the king sent you in his stead. Very astute on his part. That decision may have saved many lives. We were supposed to assume they were Malakath devotees, but they didn't seem particularly religious to me. Even I don't believe Malakath would sanction a slaughter such as this. They mentioned Chief Bazrug, though. Said he gave them their
Moss
orders.
to a flame. It's true. Do you think Chief Bazrug is behind this attack?
I've always found the chief to be noble, but it doesn't take a lot to change a person. His forts ravaged, his traditions threatened. I can see how such things could lead to this. The king and the Forge Mother must be told what happened here.
Alright. Talk to the Forge Mother. What you think is back out? What's up, Roberta? Don't worry about it. I don't, like, Spanish is not my first language, so I totally get what you mean about, like, not always having, like, if English isn't your first language, it's all good. Alright, I think this is back out. But I don't know if I need to run out or if I can just teleport out. She might be in the room that we came through.
This is the last of them.
Yep, definitely.
Let's finish these bastards off.
Definitely got some stuff going on here. A little bit of fire and lightning. No, Egbert, this is probably one of the easiest games that you can ever get into. The tutorial for each of the starting races. Well, first and foremost, there's a tutorial that takes you through this place called Cold Harbor, which teaches you how to play. And then you, whatever, like, alliance that you ally yourself with is going to have its own, like, 20 to 30 hour storyline. Like, I just finished the Aldmeri Dominion storyline a couple of days ago, and each of the alliances has that. And that's like another ongoing tutorial. So it's a good 30 hours of just teaching you how to play the game, regardless of what race or class you pick. So I would say definitely very, very easy to get into as a new player. And you can play it on any of the platforms. Mouse and keyboard or controller. I prefer the controller. It's super, super easy to get into. It's extremely casual. Like, you don't... Like, I rarely ever have to even drink a health potion. Like, there's not... I'm not really here for the challenge. This is story. Great. Like, it's got great voiceovers, phenomenal storytelling, great side characters, great main characters. There are arguably thousands of hours of content in this game if you want to get into, like, all of the DLCs and all the side content and all the side quests and all of the dungeons and all of the other things. So, oh, you're going back through the playlist right now on YouTube? Yeah, I think we're up to like 60. I think I've published 60 episodes. I think I have another 8 or 9 episodes already exported that I haven't published yet. Plus today's stream will get cut into more episodes. Plus there's guides in that playlist as well. There's actually a story, and I'll give shout out to Allie, because Allie was the one who gave me the list. That story post on, like, the story order is a great place to start. But you could also, I found this out the other day, you can go into collections. Where did I find this the other day? Somewhere in here. Stories. And then you can go down to Zone DLC, and it actually shows you the order in which the DLC were published, starting with Imperial City and going all the way up to Gold Road. So I'm currently working my way through Orsinium. So I did the original Aldmeri Dominion quest. That was about 30 hours of content. Then I did the main series quest, which was Molag Bal. That was like 30 hours of content. and now I'm working on Ursinium, which is another 30 hours of content, more or less. And I haven't touched any of the zone content. So as you go through the zones, there's all of these side quests and all of the zones that you're working your way through. So like this city that we're in right now, if I were to run around this city of Orsinium, there are like a dozen quest givers that you're going to find who give side quests. 100%, all of them voiced. And then you can go out into this zone. This zone has dozens of more side quests. And then outside of that, look at all of these zones. There's all of these zones that you can play through. And it's a massive, 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 massive game. Cooper says Imperial City story is cool, but it's a PvEP zone and there's always Nightblades. Right, that's why I didn't go. I skipped the Imperial City because I knew it had the PvEVP. And I was like, I don't want to deal with the PvP stuff, so I just ignored it. And thankfully, you don't have to. Right, if you're like Trucker and you want 100% each zone, that's when you get into the thousands of hours of content, because there are literally dozens of quests in each one of these zones across all of the zones. So it's a big, big game. But if you're new, that can feel overwhelming. I would say just stick to like whatever your alliance is. It's going to be what, Daggerfall Covenant, Altmeri Dominion. I forget the other one. But there's the 3 alliance groupings. They're going to have like a 30-hour quest line. Then there's the main series quest, which is the Molag Bal thing. And if you just follow those, it's pretty easy to follow a linear path through. And then once you're finished with those, you can go back and do side quests if you want to. Because everything scales as well, so it's not like you have to worry about levels. Ebenheart Pact, thank you. Yes, Ebenheart Pact. Yeah, like D2. Like you can literally do any and that's the thing, like you could do any order that you want because everything scales. So it's not like this is level 1 to 10, this is level 50. It all scales in this game. So you can go do whatever order you want. So if a story resonates with you, or like a race resonates with you, or a zone resonates with you, go spend 50 hours there. Like there's nothing stopping you from doing that. Plus there's all the dungeons and other stuff in a given region that you can go to and do. And then there's all the crafting and the harvesting and the fishing. So, I mean, is it easy to get into? Yes, as a new player. That's a great question. This will be clipped out for YouTube. Is it easy to get into as a new player? Yes. Plus, you don't need to have any knowledge of previous Elder Scrolls games to play this. It's a standalone story, which is pretty awesome. Your wife might be calling to complain. Cooper Harley says they also have Veteran Overland as an optional difficulty. Oh, that's coming soon. That's what Lord of the Rings Online did, where they have an adjustable difficulty for the Overland content as well. Right, like Trekker says, each zone has a structure. There's the main series quest, or the main story for the zone, and then there's all the side quests as well. So, Thanar says ESO is about 1,000 years before the single-player games. There you go. And that was at 2:35. That'll be a great video to clip out. Well, I think it just depends on the player about whether or not. Because I can't be bothered with the difficulty thing in Lord of the Rings Online, but I've been playing that game since launch, so I couldn't care less. I don't play that game for challenge. If I want to be challenged, I go learn a new language. You know. Roberta says, will you try World of Warcraft's new expansion in March? No, because March is super busy for me. I've got the new James Bond game. We've got Crimson Desert, and we have Soyora or Soyara. I forget what it's called. It's the new. We're on the PS5. I'll tell you what it is. Sororos. There's a new game coming in March. There's 3 games launching in March on the PS5. Crimson Desert's one of them. Anyway, I won't have time to play Midnight. When it launches, I will hopefully get Midnight into the rotation sometime in next year, because I have my Moon Druid parked. We finished up the raids to kill the queen like last Christmas time, I think. And that was when I was like, I'm just going to walk away from that and focus on single player games for the rest of the year. And then we did a bunch of new stuff in 2025, and that character's just been sitting there. I know Babylonia said he recently got up to speed with all the stuff that has happened since the end of War Within, and he said it was like 6 or 8 hours of content. So whenever I decide that I'm going to jump in and do the new expansion for World of Warcraft, you'll know. I would like to get to it at some point this year, but it's just going to depend on new releases. Because we've got Hytale has its early access coming in January. We're definitely going to do that. High on Life 2 is coming in February. We're going to do that. And then I have the 3 games that are dropping in March for the PS5. And then we've got like things like Exodus. Saros is the game I'm thinking of. Thank you. And then we have like next year is Fable, Grand Theft Auto 6, possibly Exodus. I would assume Exodus is next year. So it's going to be a busy year next year. Yeah, the new Fable looks great. And it's somewhere in there I probably need to try to squeeze in this remake of Riven. It'll happen. I love the Myst games. That could be a fun December project at some point. Maybe go back and play the original first two Myst games. Yeah, the new Fable looks like a lot of fun. I had great fun with the original. All right, give me 2 seconds here. I gotta go get Lucas's medication. All right. Have I played the Middle Earth Shadow series? I have, not on stream. I played those both before I started doing content creation and streaming. Those are great games. Have I played the Horizon series? I've played the first game, not the second game. I did not have a PS when it. I think I had my PS4, but I didn't have the PS5, and the second game came out and it was PS5 only, so I haven't played the second one. You almost want to play all 5 Mysta games again, says Allie. That's a big commitment. All the Fable games are good. They are, indeed. Someone on TikTok says, I think we just matched on that one dating app. Honey, if you follow me on my OnlyFans, good on you. Our troll of the day says, which one? You mean Grindr? Could be, man. I'll take all kinds. Everyone's a potential subscriber to OF, right? That's how I make a living. Didn't you know that? Like, that's like my #1 revenue source is my OF account, which means I'm on all the platforms everywhere. I got to get those swipes and clicks in, baby.
I'm glad to see you and the priest alive.
Don't kink
I
shame.
believe things may have played out very differently.
Gotta
if
hustle
hadn't
if you wanna
agreed
live.
to my plan. But what of the High Priestess? Is Solgra all right?
High Priestess is safe. I suspect this lady is behind something.
That is good news indeed. I will make sure that a military contingent protects this temple going forward. It will not be left undefended again.
100%, Roberta. And here's why. I can't actively... So, I use TikTok as a tool to push content to my YouTube. Everything I do is to push content to my YouTube and or my Twitch, because those are my monetized platforms. I'm not monetized on TikTok, I'm not monetized on Instagram, and I'm not monetized on Twitter or Facebook. So all those platforms, specifically I push people to YouTube because I've been monetized there for 4 years and that's my primary driver. I've been doing Twitch full time for 2 years. However, I can monetize my TikTok account now. They let me know in October that I can monetize TikTok. So we're actively streaming on TikTok because I can monetize that platform once I get to 10,000 followers. So I've got that one on in the background. Here's the thing. On YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, I can actively go in while I'm streaming and immediately ban dipshits on all 3 of those platforms. There's tools inside of the streaming studio where I can immediately ban a user, lock down a user, delete their chat. I can't do that on TikTok. So if I want to do it on TikTok, I have to manually open up my phone, go to that person. I have to open up my phone, go to the chat, click on that person's name, go to their profile, and block them from their profile. That's way too much work. So unfortunately, my TikTok chat tends to be full of dipshits because we can't moderate it like we can all the other platforms. I accept it as a means to an end because it is something that pushes content towards my YouTube channel, and I will eventually be able to monetize TikTok. So it's one of those things where you just accept that you're going to have some riffraff and some dipshits and some assholes and some idiots, and they're just going to lurk, and you just going to get free entertainment out of them is what it gets for me. I get free engagement. They rant and rail in the chat, and they push my content higher up in the feed. And the cool thing is like, if they do anything super offensive, the automated system kicks in and will boot them from the chat and ban them and so on and so forth. If I ran my TikTok streams through the desktop app, yes, you can moderate people, but I don't run it through the desktop app. So I run everything through Streamlabs, and then I have to have everything open in the background. So yeah, it's kind of a hassle. I also don't stream on Instagram because it's a huge hassle. Because you have to have Instagram actually open in a separate tab as its own thing, and then you have to stick it up and change the link every single time. What's up, Johnny? Oh, Luke's now this asshole over on TikTok is say you only have 7 viewers, buddy. Bitch, you need to get across all my platforms, Luke. You gotta, dude, get up to speed. You're not even hitting like We have trolls who try way harder than you. You got to do better. Like, I'm live on 4 platforms, bitch. Like, you got to learn how to troll. Like, if you're gonna try to bring the heat, you actually got to bring some heat.
Increased patrols around the perimeter, soldiers assigned to guard the inside of the temple. The priests will not have to live in fear of another attack. Not so long as my son
Oh, you're
is
definitely
king.
pushing my engagement.
I assume you know who claimed responsibility
Every
for
single
this?
time you click, comment, or view, you push me higher in the algorithm. The fanatics claim to take orders from Chief Bazrag.
Bazrag has never agreed with Kurog. He made threats in the throne room, as I'm sure you heard.
Tell us you're an incel living in your mom's
Besides,
basement
his
without telling
boldness
us you're an
and devotion
incel
to
living in your mom's
Malakoth are
basement if
legendary.
you don't know how social
It
media
appears
algorithms work.
Bazrag wishes to challenge our king.
Without you, I'd have less than 7 viewers? Yeah, I'd have 6. Feel free to let yourself out. And if not, you're just going to keep pushing me higher up in the algorithm. So please, honey, more clicks, more comments. I love it. You are my little minion doing my bidding. Dribum says, I think people that are under the age of 14 don't know anything other than TikTok. You're not wrong. People who live in their mom's basement who are under the age of 14, that's the only platform they know. Thandar says, Luke mocks numbers, but does not see the whole picture. Thandar suggests he open both his eyes next time. Roberta says, I really don't get why people watch you for hate watching. I couldn't fathom the mental stability of those people. That's because they don't have any mental stability. They're literally sitting here with their pants around their ankles, fapping to me because they can't get enough, and so they're just obsessed. Oh, Renfail. Oh, Renfail.
My son needs to solidify
It's all right. I'll
his
take it.
hold
Like I
on
said,
the
my
clan.
OF
All
is
of
one
the
of my
chiefs
biggest
must
income
accept
drivers
Kurog as
beyond
their
YouTube.
king
So,
for the betterment of the awesome
what's
appeal.
that? I got something in my eye.
If we gain support of the clans, we
I
can
take all
stop
kind.
Bazrag
Ain't no kink
without
shaming here.
inciting an all-out war.
I will sign the posters that you put on your wall to fap to if you need me to. If that's going to help you get off in the morning, I will sign those posters. I'll even buy you a body pillow and you can sleep with me every night. I'll take it a step further. I'll buy any obsessive troll a body pillow for Christmas. Highly educated trucker says, as a fat guy sitting in his underwear in the back of a Freightliner, I feel attacked. I feel attacked. Oh no. Oh. Moth to the flame. They cannot help themselves, right?
You have done much already. Many lives were in danger, yet somehow you managed to make sure none were lost. Please take this, for being so careful with my people and keeping their safety in mind.
I wonder if that's an actual upgrade
We
for
will
me.
find... Solgra, my child, come join us. Are you injured? Should I call a healer?
Thanks to our friend, I am well and ready to serve.
Yes, our
That
call
was
for
a
assistance has
waste.
already proven to be a more than worthwhile endeavor.
Let's see here. Sash of the Trini is what I'm wearing. That is a bit of an upgrade. Matter of fact, I should check. I would lose some spell damage. Yeah, I'm not gonna change those out. Excuse me. Alright, that was the end. Of that quest line. Durbob says the main difference between boys and men is the ability to control your emotions and think before you speak, think before you chat, all those things. Yep. Alright, let's see here. What? See, I'm gonna delete this. I'm never gonna go back to do that. Trucker says there's a tip. There's a stat bonus for having gear close to your level. The more gear you have at your level, the bigger the bonus. The max bonus comes from having all 12 slots filled with the same level gear. That's cool, and that's a highly useful tip. That's how you do tips, by the way, kids. I've just been taking gear as I come across it, at least until I get to cap. Okay. King-sized problem was the one we just... The next one says, in the name of the king, so I should be summoned to the throne room. I think I might need to go there manually. In the name of the king. Which, by the way, was the name of the horrible Dungeon Siege movie. That is a lot of fun to watch, even though it's horrible. Hrothgar. Well, let's go back out up top. Somewhere we should find a trigger. Where are the stairs? I could just teleport out of here, but I do legitimately want to try to find the stairs to get out of here. I think they were these. It came down these, I think, at the beginning. My favorite thing is breaking down old gear into crafting resources. I wish all games had a good deconstruction system. And it is, I wish, by the way, I think Ali said this when I was AFK, something about if Starfield drops a, Shadow drops a DLC that's a must purchase. Yes, that's a must purchase for me too. But also lamenting about the fact that there's not a good enough deconstruction system in Starfield. Damn it. I do not know where the next quest is. Says I need to speak to somebody called I may need to go straight to the throne room. Unless he's back at his tavern. Oh, I just heard it. I have another message from the king. That's the guy I'm looking for. How do I get down there? Oh, that's right. I ran up here and around. Okay. That's the guy I'm looking for, though. That's the next quest. Yeah, that's right. We chased a guy up here. Alright, let's just yeet. Yeet! Somewhere around here is the NPC who is needing to talk to. Where'd you go?
Ah, there you are. Guess what? I have another message
This is the guy. Here he is.
It's wonderful to see you again, my friend, but I really wish the king would find someone else to serve as a messenger. I have so many other talents that could greatly benefit Orsinium.
What does the king need this time?
I have no idea. Although I did hear something or other about a moot of some kind.
Moots are important.
I suppose the best way to find out is to go and see the king.
Where at?
In the throne room, up at the keep.
Copy that. In the name of the king. That is a good quest name. I don't need to do any deconstruction yet. Cool. Alright, folks. That's going to be a good stopping point for the Elder Scrolls Online stream this morning. I'm going to take a quick break. Get some food in my belly. Probably take a walk down to the river. Do some exercise. I'll be back probably in an hour and a half or so, and I'm going to go play. At least that's the plan at the moment. I want to come back and play Gran Turismo 7 since I picked this up this morning. And we'll see if the main internet comes back by the time I get back. Because it is 7:30 in the morning, but I don't know if people are working. Although, if I'm not back, it's going to be because they turned the power off. They've been killing the power every day for the past few days because the Power Commission is doing repairs all throughout town. So we haven't had water or power from like 10 or 11 until like 7. Dude, Waffle House sounds so good, Trucker. Fuck, man. Like a bone-in ham steak, hash browns, 2 eggs over easy, hot coffee, couple of flapjacks. Fuck me, that sounds good, dude. I love Waffle House breakfasts. I have a lot of hours clocked at Waffle House and Denny's and Village Inn over the years. Working construction. The only places open at like 4:30 in the morning. Village Inn has some really good breakfast burritos. God, Waffle House sounds really, really good. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit.